Hi, this is Josh with Resort TV 1, and today I'm taking on a vlog stroll around Epcot. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already done so. Follow us on all the social medias with Resort TV 1 on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So let's get started with the stroll, everybody. And if you haven't seen one of our vlog strolls before, it's different than a relaxing stroll in that I will talk as we move along, and sometimes I'll be silent. But I'll just kind of let you know my thoughts as I walk around the park. It's kind of like a, there's a monorail. It's just kind of like a walk around podcast type of a thing. And the difference between this and a regular vlog is that I don't cut the camera as much. You know, with a regular vlog, you might do a 20-second clip here or there, or a 10-second clip or a 5-second clip and then cut the camera. But here, I'll try and keep it going as I walk around a little more so that it's like you're walking around the parks with me. So let's get started. First of all, still Flower and Garden Festival here at Epcot. It's a beautiful day. As you can see, Goofy's still got that 50th anniversary birthday cake. It's still a little weird to me to have Flower and Garden in June, but I actually kind of like it. Flower and Garden is one of my favorites because it's so beautiful all the time. So it's always good to have more of a good thing. And then, of course, after this, Food and Wine Festival starts, I believe, sometime in July, if I'm not mistaken. It used to start in August, and now I believe it's starting in July. So we've got a couple more weeks here of Flower and Garden Festival, and then we'll transition over to Food and Wine. But either way, my goodness, it's a beautiful day here, and Spaceship Earth looks radiant as always. Now, you hear all the music in the background. There may be copyright issues with the music, so I may have to cut a little bit just to get around those copyrights, but I'm gonna kind of see how it goes. So if you hear a cut, it was just probably because of copyright. Not very busy here in the entrance plaza. This is one of those time frames that not a lot of people are coming and going. It's about 3:15 right now in the afternoon. And it's very hot. My car said 98 on the way in. My watch says 93, so somewhere in between 93 and 98. I suspect it's closer to 98, but still, we've got a nice little breeze, so it's not unbearable. But I love this prism here, this fountain. It's monorail coral. I always call it monorail salmon, but it's coral. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful sight here. And I'm so glad they brought back this fountain. I mean, it's not new. It's been out here since last Christmas or last holiday season, but just so amazing to be able to have Epcot's former glory out here with the prisms and the Epcot symbols and the flags and everything. It's really, really cool. And some of the classic flags are out here as well. Some of the new ones too. The Guardians flag is over there on the left. You've got even World of Motion, all kinds of stuff. Imagination, lots of great things. Pluto's over there, saying hi to everybody. Also love the artwork over here by Pluto. It's a little bit classic because you can kind of see the old Communicore and Inventions buildings in the background, and you can also see the fountain, the Fountain of Nations, which obviously no longer there behind Spaceship Earth. So they are going to put some kind of a fountain back there on the refurb, but we don't know exactly what. It's kind of hard to tell from the concept art. I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm sure it will look nice. I just wish that they had done some of the things that they wanted to do with the Moana stuff. It's all really cool, but I wish they'd done it more without changing what's already there. So, you know, so they're kind of rebuilding some things, like with this building, the Communicore Inventions building that used to be back there, right behind this wall. They're putting Moana there. They could have taken down part of it and then put up the the Communicore Hall, which they're going to rebuild anyway, kind of in that back section. So we'll see how it looks. I'm glad they used some of the classic naming. And by the way, recently this was closed off here, this area on the right-hand side, heading towards the Living Seas and the Land, or Seas with Nemo. I always call it Living Seas, but before you could kind of walk through this section all the way to the back of Spaceship Earth, and now you can't do that. So they must be doing some work on this side. And of course, the classic mirrored column here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's some kind of an elevator that goes up inside the building there, or the sphere, I should say. Speaking of which, we've got those amazing LED lights, and you can see from down here how there are different sides to all of them where they emit the light that goes into the crevices between the triangles that makes all those really cool patterns. So they've got the light that comes straight out, and then they've got the light that kind of goes down into the corners. So Spaceship Earth's wait time banner up here, the sign is actually broken, so you have to look on the app to see the wait time. I'm sure they'll get that fixed soon. Doesn't look that long right now, probably 15-20 minutes at the most, maybe even less. Got the gift shop here, which hasn't changed too much, and still the same mirrored restrooms. But the biggest thing, the biggest update, which is not really new, but just I haven't done a vlog here for a while, is that you're not walking over by Guardians of the Galaxy anymore like we were for so long. We're actually walking this way, and one of the cool parts about that is, number one, this whole area by the left-hand side of Spaceship Earth as you walk into the park is actually open. And number two, it now is finally, for the first time since, I believe, 2019? About 3 years, it's possible now finally to walk all the way from Spaceship Earth straight to World Showcase without dipping onto one side or the other, what was formerly known as Future World. So that's kind of cool. You can walk straight through here to the new Connections Eatery and Creation Shop and not have to go around. And slowly but surely they're removing more walls as we go. And guest relations was recently refurbished and reopened. It was always there, but they just took a minute to, or say a few weeks to refurbish it a bit. So it was closed and moved, I believe, to the front of the park for a while. I didn't intend for this to be a construction update, but that's just kind of what's on my mind. So I'm not going to label this construction update, but you kind of get a little bit of that here as we go. And we'll see as Epcot progresses what they do with Project Tomorrow here, whether it stays the same at the end of Spaceship Earth or whether it changes a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. And you can see, of course, this is the only remaining Communicore building, and they have repainted it and really done a great job keeping it kind of almost back to its former glory with more windows and more open spaces. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't do something like this with the other side, just open it up, put more open spaces, more open areas, and just keep the main building so it would be symmetrical, but we'll see. But we'll see what happens. There's connections, I can feel that air conditioning, that feels good. Let's take a dip in there real quick. And you've got Starbucks right at the entrance, which you already know, but the biggest thing that a lot of people probably don't notice is the Epcot model right here, or map or blueprint or whatever you say. If you look at on the People Mover, when you ride by that area, you see something very similar. And if you watch Walt's amazing famous broadcast where he talks about Epcot, that diagram was in there as well. So we'll walk through here real quick. Like I said, everything's very wide open. A great place to relax and enjoy. Of course, Creations over here. So this whole building is open, which is nice. And I told you this before, but I'll show this again. Right where these circular lights are where actually there was going to be and originally planned a People Mover track going around the two Communicore buildings, and you can see that would have gone right there above Club Cool. You can kind of see the passageway where that would have gone through. It's just about the right size. So they kept all that architecture there, but they kind of modified it to what they needed. So again, it's right here. You can even see there's a little channel cut in the building for it. So it wasn't the original blueprints and plans, but they decided against putting it in there. But still pretty amazing. And some of the eating area, I've been told you have to have food to sit down in, and some of it is just open all the time. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, so that's the part that's reserved for people with food over there, and then the other part is anybody can sit down, even if you just have food from the coffee shop or if you just need a break from the heat, which is nice that they have. It's kind of a good solution because you kind of get where you can almost please everybody as close as possible by having space for people who bought food and also having space for people that just need to cool off. It's a big enough building they can do that. But it is nice to be able to walk through these breezeways again, at least the one that's remaining. the breezeway almost acted like a curtain, especially when Horizons was here. And you'd walk through this breezeway and you'd end up in this area, and it was almost like raising the curtain when you go into Magic Kingdom. That was what they intended. Going through the train station, of course, it, you know, served the purpose of being a tunnel under the train station at the entrance, but also on the Keys to the Kingdom tour, they told us that that was supposed to be kind of like a curtain, and once you get past that, you're on stage. So even though it's not quite the same, I feel like that those breezeways were kind of curtains out to the ride area. Comes the monorail, blue. And before we go over to Guardians of the Galaxy, let's pay some homage to Horizons since I already mentioned it. Still the best ride ever created. Now Rise and Guardians are pretty good, no doubt about it, but still, I think still Horizons is best. I do like there are these little grassy areas here too. Sometimes people go up there and lay down or sunbathe or whatever, and it's cool. It's just open. You can do that, and the grass is beautifully manicured like a golf course. Now, one thing you may not know unless you've heard me say it on the live stream is this planter with Buzz Lightyear at the front of it is actually shaped like Horizons. So I'm going to go out to wide angle and see if you can see it better. All right, so we're in ultra wide angle, so you should be able to see the shape a little bit better. And if you look at Horizons, or you do a Google search of what the Horizons building looks like, you can see that this planter is indeed in the same shape. They don't normally do ultra wide just because the quality is better on the regular lens, but works to show these types of shapes and things here. So there you go. Pretty cool old remnant of Horizons there. And one thing we haven't heard anything about for a while is this play pavilion that's going into what was formerly Wonders of Life. So I'm sure they're working on it behind the scenes, but they haven't made any announcements about it for a while. Now, one nice thing that's, you know, opened here in the last year, the Space 220, which we've gone into now in a live stream, does do a nice job also paying homage to Horizons with the space travel ideas. And there's also Horizons logo or symbol inside of Mission Space here, so I'm not going to go through there right now, but it's definitely there, right in the middle of the anti-gravity wheel. Well, let's go check out the Guardians area. It's really nice to be able to walk freely now in this direction. It's really warm out, so I hope my camera doesn't overheat, but if it does, I'll take a break and you won't even know because it'll just be a quick cut. I will say I'm not a big fan of having the entrance music piped throughout the entire park. It's not bad, but it's all just kind of commercially available stuff, so there's nothing really unique about it. It does fit the mood nicely. Makes it hard for us YouTubers though, because it's all copyrighted. So that means you have two choices. You can do short clips or you can take your chances. So today I'm living dangerously. It's actually a pretty clean music transition there between Guardians and the park soundtrack. There it is. It's a pretty awesome view there. Got the photo pass area here. Still never forget the media event where they had the big stage right here in front of the spaceship. That was so epic. Looks like there's a decent little line outside of Guardians here. Yeah, so remember how I said the phone might get too hot? Yeah, I did. So I came in here to Connections to cool it off, but I love this mural, so why not show it real quick? It happens. I usually record these at 4K 60, and that takes a lot more processing power. And when it's 90-something degrees outside, the phone's in the sun, it doesn't always work, but just have to let it cool down and start again. It's such a beautiful mural, though, representing so many different countries. I love the hot air balloons up there. There's hot air balloons in the France movie, and also, I believe, representative of Turkey there, maybe, or Morocco. So pretty cool. I guess it'd probably be Morocco, since we don't have Turkey in the World Showcase. We have Morocco. So either way, really cool. We're gonna head out here and go back and look at Guardians a little more. Gotta get through the traffic first here. They got a little menu there. People check out before they come in. And remember, all the menus are available on the My Disney Experience app. So if you're needing to find some menu offerings, definitely go check that out. You can also order online. The mobile ordering is huge because it's so much of a time saver. I know a lot of people don't want to mess with their phone all the time, and I totally get that on vacation, but you will save so much time mobile ordering, and then you have more time to enjoy the park. So it's kind of a win-win on that one. And it's not hard to do either. They walk you through it in the app, or ask a cast member, they can help you. So here we are. Guardians is formerly known as Ellen's Energy Adventure. And before that, known as just the Universe of Energy. Or as we sometimes mistakenly say, the University of Energy. It's the backside of spaceship. Pretty cool place. Sounds like it's time for a nap, maybe. Boy, it's definitely crowded getting in here. Wonder if they had a breakdown, so they've got a lot of people coming through at the same time. Not sure. Either way, here's Treasures of Xandar, the shop in this area. And make sure that you take a second to stop in here. Even if you can't ride, you can go in the store. A lot of people think you just can't even come over here if you don't have a virtual queue, but that's not true. You can come over here. There's a short line. Like in this case, it's like 1 or 2 parties, and you go right in. So because of the capacity, but I would come in here and check it out. It's really, really neat. So, in fact, we'll go check it out real quick. All right. So here it is, Treasures of Xandar. This guy's cool. It still reminds me of like the Guardians version of Max Headroom. The little waves in the screen you can't see in person, but works in the video. Got the Infinity Gauntlet here. So a lot of different Marvel stuff. You've got Loki over here, and he'll talk every once in a while. But also, of course, Groot. It's a really cool statue up here of him, and lots of Groot merch, lots of Guardians of the Galaxy merch. Anything you can think of, pretty much. Pretty crowded in here, but they're letting people in to cool off, which is good. Get a Star-Lord jacket. Nova Corps shirts, they're pretty cool. So anyway, I don't want to turn this into a shopping video too quickly, but still pretty neat stuff here. I really do like the Guardians. I can't get over there, it's crowded, but you can see it from here. The Guardians neon sign there is pretty cool. 150. Not too bad for a fully working neon sign. It might be LED, I don't know. Looks neon. All right, let's head back out. Thank you, you too. All right, guys. So got a little boy upset over here. Still, oh, it's hard for sure. Now let's walk this way again. We'll walk over by Test Track. It's hot, and they get the heat and the heat, and then they don't get what they want. That makes for a tough combination sometimes. Makes the tantrums worse. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, I've mentioned this before, but the two different areas of what we'll still call Future World, even though this is, I believe, World Discovery or something over here now. I don't know. I can't remember. World Nature on the other side, World Discovery, World Celebration. I think that's what it is. Yeah. World Celebration's in the middle, which is not complete yet. Well, you've got partially the connections and creations, but I believe this is World Discovery. The other side is World Nature, because you've got the land and the seas and everything, which makes sense. World Celebration, that's going to be where a lot of the festival booths and stuff are. And then, what I was saying though is over here in this area, which is now World Nature, you won't see, kind of ironically, you will not see any water or any curves on this side, because originally this was the energy side of things. So you had energy, horizons, and World of Motion over here. Everything was very kinetic, and so they felt like they made everything very angular. So everything here on this side is at an angle, just like this horizons shaped planter here. So the other side, we'll go over to here in just a minute, everything's curved and there's water everywhere. So they still haven't changed that, which is interesting, because now this is the nature side, and you know, of course, probably should have water on the nature side, but it works. The other side still is going to have Moana, which is all about water, obviously. So, but it was neat that the Imagineers originally designed it that way. I read the other day too that when Epcot was built in the 80s, 1980 through 82, I believe, you know, opened in 82. When it was built, it was the largest construction project in the world, which is pretty incredible. And I believe it was a projected cost of $800 million to $1 billion. And I believe it cost $2 billion. It doubled the budget pretty much. So, because, you know, a lot of stuff you just can't budget for when you start building. You're like, oop, we need to do this. We didn't realize we'd have to do that. So the best laid plans, but I'm glad they continued with it and stuck through. It definitely paid off for a lot of us who love this park. All right, so leave me a comment. Which Test Track do you like better? Do you like the current version that's more high-tech? Or do you like the original version with the crash dummies and the control booth and Bill McKim and all those people? And the lady that was there at the computer that kept crashing us? I personally am nostalgic for the original version, but I actually like this version better. I think it's very futuristic. The way it looks almost more like a simulation. And I like the idea that the game aspect of it, where, you know, you can see who gets the higher score. So that's always fun. That adds an extra element of rewritership or rewritability. So that makes it nice. Kind of trying to stay in the shade as much as possible so I can keep the phone cool, so I can keep going on this vlog as much as possible. And I don't know when I'm going to post this, but this is being filmed on Friday, June 17th, right before our Epcot live stream. Obviously, it'll be after the live stream when I post it, but we'll see when I get a chance. And hopefully, we'll be within the next week or so. Probably premiere it, make it kind of like a live stream, but I won't be able to answer comments. By the way, a lot of people do get confused about the premieres, which I totally understand, because mostly we do streams, and a premiere is just a pre-recorded video that you can live chat while you're watching it. So if this is a premiere right now, if I am able to do it that way, we've been going for a while now, but if you're wondering, why isn't he answering my comment? I can answer in the chat, but I can't answer on the video because the video was done June 17th. So it's already finished and finalized, unlike a live stream that happens in the moment. But with this method, I can do a lot higher quality, and I can edit, you know, if something goes wrong or there's a glitch or something. And I can also focus just on the video while I'm making it. So it's a little different. I think the phone's gonna get hot here in a minute. Took a short little break there, but it wasn't overheated yet. Just I saw that nice little shady spot back there. I'm anxious to see how many copyright claims we get on this. It's some company called Audio Network that seems to think they own all the rights to this music, so we'll see how many they decide to claim. It's always fun. I agree with, you know, people being able to enforce copyright, but I also don't agree with the way YouTube does it, where basically they're just hands off and it's just up to the copyright holder to release the claims. So basically all they have to do if they want to make more money is just deny all the copyright claims, even whether it's valid or not. They just have to deny it because they know nobody's going to really sue them or anything. So so that's the fun system that we have to deal with, is that YouTube doesn't really get involved. If you want to go against what the copyright holders say, then your only recourse is to actually get a lawyer involved. So anyway, more than you wanted to know probably, but let's take a look at Mickey and Minnie. I love that shot. Mickey and Minnie and Spaceship Earth. Let's go over this way real quick. I love this view too across the way. It's interesting throughout the festival. You can see the flowers obviously growing and getting more kind of bushy and things like that. It's nice. When they put them, when you put a man in there, oh, here comes the great shot. When you put a man in there more, you know, smaller and more colorful, maybe a little bit, but it's still cool to see it progress. You know, the colors definitely were more vibrant when they started, but they still look amazing. I love the 50 over there. All right, well, let's head over onto the other side of Future World, or they can call it World Nature. Is it World Nature or World of Nature? I don't know. We'll see. All right, we had to take a little break again, overheated in the middle of a sentence. But what I was saying was, it'll be easier to tell the difference between World Celebration, where we are now here in the middle, and World Discovery on the other side with Guardians of the Galaxy Test Track and etc. Because there'll be this building here with Creations and Connections kind of in the way or in the middle. So when you go past that, you'll know you're in World Discovery. But over here, there is going to be Communicore Hall on this side, which they've already kind of started building, if I can see from the monorail. But what you're not going to have is a natural barrier all the way around. So it'll be kind of interesting because World Nature and World Celebration are going to kind of mesh together just a little bit. So that'll be interesting to see how they do any kind of changing for the scenery there to make that more obvious for everybody. See how far we get. I didn't give as long of a break this time, but I just want to walk through this area. Call it World Nature now, to show the differences in the planters and all that. What is interesting is all the original pavilions are still up. You know, they're still present. Even on the other side. You know, even though Guardians had to have a new building built, there still is the original Universe of Energy building is still there as part of the queue in the pre-show and the loading. You know, World of Motion building is still there as test track. You know, lots more stuff besides that. So, and you got, of course, the original Imagination building over here. It's different color scheme, but it's really, really nice that they still kept it, because it's one of the coolest buildings with the glass pyramids. It's a very iconic design. and the vertical or the backwards waterfall. So, and immediately when you walk over here, you see here's a water area, and everything's curved. Look around, everything's a curve. I'm not saying you can't find a straight line somewhere, because there's, you never say never, but most of the areas here are curved, and there's actually a lot of area taken up by the water, little waterways and planter areas here. So oh, it's good to look at the topiaries too. Got the Lion King friends over here, Pumbaa and Timon, and Figment up here. I'm just going to stay in the area formerly known as Future World, so the artist formerly known as Prince. That way I can get dinner and then get started with the stream here in a minute. But I haven't done one of these vlog strolls, and I really wanted to do one just to kind of chat with you guys a little bit and just kind of share my thoughts. So this is something too that, I do this sometimes. You could like actually put this on in your car and just listen while you drive. And then later on you could put it in the house and, actually watch and listen. So that's a kind of an added bonus of these that are more talking related. Let's go up and look at these cool little jumping water fountains here. But do let me know what you think of these vlog strolls. And if you're a fan of the relaxing strolls where I don't talk, don't worry, I'll still do those. And if you don't like the talking, you can skip these and watch only the relaxing ones. That's fine. I'll clearly label them vlog stroll and relaxing stroll. But I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the vlog stroll so far. This does not appear to be working. Now, if you're a Disney Visa card member, you can go back in that building right there, and you can actually enjoy character meetings. Usually Mickey's back there, so that's kind of cool. So this fountain here that's working. This is a very, very large area. If you want to get somewhere where you can be out of the way, there's actually benches back here and a place to sit even in the shade at the exit to the movie area, which used to be Captain EO, Magic Journeys, and so much more. Now it's Mickey Shorts, I think, or something. All right, I'm going to stop and get a drink real quick because it is very, very warm, but so pretty back here. All right, I'm back, and I noticed something over here. You can see the construction. Let me zoom just a little bit here and see if I can see it better. All right, there's a 3x zoom. You can kind of see a little bit of what's going on back here. You can see that dirt pile in front of Spaceship Earth there, and you can also see the framing. I believe that's going to be right behind where Simba is. You can see that's going to be part of the Moana area, I believe. I don't think that's the Communicore Hall. It might be. I don't know. Leave me a comment if you know. It's pretty cool though. You can really see. Okay, let's do a 10x zoom and see what you can see. Super zoom. Cool thing about this phone, this Samsung, it does a 10x optical, so there's no digital artifacts or anything. Sorry if it's a little shaky. But you can really see back there. Wow. Get past the water here. Pretty cool. Hopefully you can see that clearly. There's another view from further back. Sometimes you can back up a little bit. You can see things further away better. Get a better angle on it. All right, back in normal mode. Let us head back to the front of the park. Really nice view from there. I'm glad we're gonna be a couple hours before we start the stream because it is oppressively hot. You know, it's Florida in the summer, but you never quite get used to it, for sure. Never quite get used to it. Now we'll take the long way around so we can look at some of the scenery on the way back to the front. Always funny to say back to the front. And one thing that's been going for a while is you do not have access to these bathrooms anymore, so the only restrooms are either behind Imagination or over here in the land. Like the phone's doing better with the heat now. Beautiful land pavilion here. I don't know what these plants are here, but they're really cool. How plants can look either tropical or futuristic at the same time, but maybe it's because we got used to them being a part of Epcot, and so we kind of, or maybe I kind of associate them in my mind, something tropical or something futuristic, I mean. Cool either way. And here's one of my favorite views in the whole park. Right here. Of course, there's some equipment in the way now, but still looks amazing. Look at that reflection. And if you can get a monorail to come by, you're all set. You might have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, but you have time, it's really worth it. Get a nice desktop background or just use one of mine. Start posting those sometime for people to use.
You dropped your pocket.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Got me. She got me. That's the oldest trick in the book, and she got me. Darn it. All right, so we used to do that in school all the time. The mine birds. They haven't, I was gonna say they haven't decided to establish dominance right now, but now they are. Exactly. I do like that they still do the wave splash thing that you just saw. That's been there since the Living Seas was the name of that pavilion. I don't mind the integration of Nemo. Obviously, you don't, it's not a stretch. It is, Nemo's all about sea life and to a certain degree about conservation, which is cool. But, and Epcot's always been about conservation. They've always had the solar panels on, I know they don't now, but they used to have the solar panels on the Universe of Energy that was talked about how much power they could generate and everything. So, having part of Epcot about conservation, I think, is very authentic to what Epcot was originally intended to be. And Walt was all about conservation too. I think he understood even back in the, 40s, 50s, and 60s that the resources of the earth needed to be conserved. But I do miss those solar panels. That was really cool to know that a lot of the building, or at least theater cars were powered by sunlight. I'm not sure how much. Leave a comment if you know more about that than I do. I don't think it provided all the power, but it provided quite a bit because there were a lot of solar panels up there. Of course, those vehicles were trackless too. They just had a wire in the ground that allowed them to travel along the track that they wanted it to travel on. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was there gonna ride. Come on, it's the last ride.
And anything I'm commenting or talking about, definitely leave a comment and we can further the discussion in the comments of the video. I was talking about Living Seas earlier, though I do miss the Seas movie. That was the movie that you watched before you got on the hydrolators, and then eventually they made it so that you could just bypass that movie and get on a hydrolator and see the sea creatures, which I think was a good call. You still got to ride the sea cabs, which are part of what makes up the Nemo ride now. Of course, they extended it, but part of that's still there. The original part of the sea cabs was just the part where Crush, you know, the EAC part. It was a little bit before that, and then the EAC, and then turning around the little circular part where they sing Big Blue World. That was really all the original ride was. They extended it into what used to be the theater section. So, it's just interesting to see how they change things and how they adapt to what they're looking for. But that's about all for now for this vlog stroll around Epcot. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this format or about anything that I said on the video. Whether you agree, disagree, it's okay to disagree. Just, you know, be respectful, obviously, and everybody usually is. But other than that, definitely hope you've enjoyed it. So before we wrap up, please be sure to check out our awesome sponsors. They help keep our videos going and help keep us going as well. We got Mickey Blog and MickeyTravels.com for the best in free Disney vacation planning advice. Go check out MickeyTravels.com to book your next trip to Disney. It doesn't cost any more than if you book the trip yourself. We also have our new real estate sponsor, Jeff and Renee Funk, partnered and brokered by eXp Realty. Their website's easy to remember, realtyinorlando.com. That's realtyinorlando.com. There's also a phone number in the description. If you want to give them a call, please tell them Resort TV 1 sent you. They'll help you find your dream home here in Orlando. And finally, David's DVC Rentals. If you want to rent a DVC room at a fraction of the cost, check out David's DVC Rentals, dvcrequest.com/TV. That's dvcrequest.com/TV. All right, everybody, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. And we'll see you on the next one, whether it's a vlog stroll, relaxing stroll, live stream. We got you covered all summer. And so definitely stay with us and follow us on all the socials and just stay connected with us so we can keep enjoying Disney together. All right, everybody. So for now, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure that you're subscribed so that you can get all of the latest updates. Also, check out some other great videos on our channel. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.